We are live here in the Phantoms Lair. It's Friday of Gather Round. It's a big day in Adelaide. It's a big week of SuperCoach. It started on Thursday night. We've got an equally as big show here. Got some big names in the Lair. We'll start with our man, the man about town. Now, if you are in Adelaide, you've just come across for the footy, this is the man you have to follow. Simeon Thomas-Wilson, 5 names, dominating the show, dominating on the street. How's your first night been?
It was good. We had a good time. You and I went to the footy last night. The Phantom went and saw the bigwigs of the AFL. The reveal's gone well. You get invited to functions now. They know who you are. So that was good. And I also, everyone has to know, I did beat you yesterday in the sprint and in the kicking at the footy festival the fan area. So yeah, I want that known on public record.
At SuperCoach social, see that video. 5 names and I down at the footy festival. Check it out. The Chief's here now. We're not going to talk much about the Chief because he's not having a good day. But the big news. Big news here in the Lair. 2 weeks ago, we denounced him as a friend of the show.
Yeah, still not sure.
5 names said absolutely no chance he's getting back in the building, but he's taken it well and he's taken up the invitation to return to the Lair. The fans called for it. Didn't get a proper goodbye.
Did the fans call for it?
At Beartorius, Bear Holland, back in the show. The big dog, speaking of big wigs, now he's here for Gather Round, hanging out with the big wigs. Made time for us.
G'day, fans.
Yes.
G'day, Dossie. Hello
G'day,
to
Dan.
all the fans out there. Simeon, hello.
Now, we are going to go through all the team news, what happened last night at team selection, talk about our trades, and have a look some of the numbers, go over them again, answer your questions as well. So if you want to be part of the show, let us know in the comments. We'll get through some of them later. But the Chief,
What's going on?
you're not having a great day. Tom Stewart, it started last night. Tom Stewart was laid out.
Broken by Mitch Cleary.
You weren't happy.
Oh, get off.
You weren't happy.
No.
It hasn't continued, and it's continued today.
Did you trade it? Did you rage trade him?
I did initially rage trade Tom Stewart. That was my first reaction, but I did hold strong in the end. And I'm kind of upset about it, just seeing him sitting there. He's still got 163 break even as well. So when he comes back, he's bound to lose some coin. The thing that made me hold was that I just know he's going to be in everyone else's team in 2 weeks' time. So I just want to, hold that trade. And essentially, I feel like all I've got now is I'll have an extra trade in a couple of weeks when everyone's bringing him in. So, it's devastating news. But Tom Stewart, great start to the round. I also had Jordan Dawson, who scored a 60. You wouldn't be too happy, Sim, either, with your greatest pod. You've been talking about heaps on the podcast. Great season to date. But Jake Saliga also
can we bring back, can I take the fry pan over? Can I call it 5 names fry pan? I'm taking it just off the top turnbuckle.
Hold for the Lair.
Well,
Go on.
Oh, geez, I was watching that. Why is Jake Saliga getting stuck on the wing when the game's on the line? I didn't need to kind of say it was a mistake, but Zach Taylor is not a good enough player to force Jake Saliga on the line, on the wing.
White card.
That's not controversial. It's just fact.
Now, I saw 5 names last night, so he said he's watching it. Would have been probably the only 5 minutes of footy he watched, I reckon. So plenty happening there for 5 names last night.
How was the Village Green? 5 names.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But obviously there were some other SuperCoach relevant performances last night. Sam de Koning went straight to fullback to line up on Riley Thilthorpe. Didn't get much of the footy. Obviously it worked for Geelong. Dan Batten in the fry pan still. Obviously convinced Chris Scott that Reece Stanley was better in the side, SDK down back. So I traded him yesterday. Again, it's probably now a trade if you have held. Think about the next couple of weeks. Use his money before he does start to drop. Mitch Nevitt back in the side. Didn't do a lot either.
Didn't score much. I thought he looked okay at times. Nice little intercept mark. Couple of contested. Yeah, I thought he was all right. Did enough to hopefully get a game next week, I reckon. But a couple of nice scores as well. I know Beartorius, you've come in, bit of swagger about you. I know you down in the 50K rank. But
Oof.
the VC this week.
Yep.
Talk us
We're
through it.
back. Nah, 56,000 rank for me, I think. Missing out on those office whispers. And I've dropped off big time. But did have the VC on Bailey Smith last
Oh,
night.
very nice.
So maybe, this is the moment for me, the turning point. Back on the Lair for one time only.
Yep.
Bailey Smith VC, gather around back amongst it. So
Well played.
He's so good. He's like,
me?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Bailey Smith. Just see how much
Bailey
he
Smith.
Bailey Smith. Just how much he runs. Like that's his work rate. That's just gonna get him so many points. Like that's just you can't.
Loves kicking too.
Loves kicking
Loves
as
kicking.
well.
Yep.
And why do you tag? And can you tag him? Like they want to. Obviously, teams want to try and tag Holmes now a little bit more or put attention to him. So Bailey Smith's going to be a great BC or C option every week.
Obviously, the
almost.
fan in the crowd after the game didn't start with Bailey Smith. So,
Yeah, Max Holmes.
Bailey's told him what happened. Max Holmes huge.
Massive. Yeah. Should we get on to the rest
We should.
of the week?
What happened last night? It was a busy day, a big day in Adelaide. What happened with the team, Dossie? Calling with the Swans tonight, a big one. Beartorius will be all over it.
Yeah, so Collingwood, Sydney, Adelaide Oval, 7 o'clock, 10. We're doing 7:10. We're doing Adelaide time for all these because it's in Adelaide.
Centre of the
It's
universe.
the flavour of the moment at the moment. So
You're right with
look-
that at Beartorius?
Yeah, just for all the Victorian fans out there, that's half an hour behind Victorian time. It just confuses me too. I'm very jet lagged at the moment.
It
So.
confuses me, and I'm like, I've been in Adelaide for like 8 years.
Yep,
Still
yep.
confuses me.
right, the ins and outs. Lockie Sullivan, Ed Allen, Will Hoskin Elliott coming in. Dan Houston
Your
out,
man, Ed Allen.
suspended. Yeah, your man. Jordan DeGoey and Lockie Schultz out. So nothing too major apart from if you're a Dan Houston owner, which there is plenty. Just quickly, Fance, we said on the show the other day, that's a trade, 2-week suspension.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trade
Right.
him out.
And no changes for Sydney. But one player I want to mention, not on the bubble this week, but Cleary. What do you know about, you brother of Mitch, Haydn Cleary at the Swans. We've
Mate,
got
your
the
bestie,
man who's
Mitch.
got the insights on all things Cleary from Channel 7, Beartorius right here. 124K rookie. He's got a negative 15 break even. He's only played the one game due to a incident at the club, holding him out a little bit there. Comes straight back in though. And straight into the team again, only the one game. So we can wait a week, but he is looking like a potential option there for us, Beartorius.
Yeah, I'm just
Brother of
checking.
Mitch.
I've traded him in, but maybe not.
Rival
Maybe
comp.
not in SuperCoach. But
I won't
he's a
talk-
bit of an accumulator, isn't he?
Could it be sub again?
Played
Could
okay
it
in
be
the
sub?
VFL last year, so I was hoping
He hit
fans
some big
might have
numbers.
some state league numbers for us. But yeah, he
he had
did
some
have some
big
solid
games.
numbers in the VFL last year.
As
think
I
I-
remember Sench posting about him a lot.
Okay.
Sench is the Swans man. So
There we
there's a
go.
lot of plugs early. Sorry, everyone. I didn't expect that.
Need
Don't
the-
forget, Agenda said
Shameless.
this.
Need a
Agenda
dollar
said it's
sting.
Monday, Tuesday.
All right. Well, we
Gee,
can
that's-
keep an eye out on him. Watch him tonight. See if he goes all right. Saturday, North Melbourne v Gold Coast is the
Only
first game.
live.
At,
You can only watch it on KO.
Wait, hang on. There's their games on Saturday.
Exclusive. The only one.
yeah, exclusive. Barossa. That one's at Barossa at 12:05.
Sorry, can we go back to the Collingwood game? Just
Sure.
very quickly. Do you reckon Dacos gets the tag tonight?
Sure do. James Jordan.
I am
You would take
even
us- you would take us
considering
No,
What?
you're not gonna put the VC on.
the E. Put the Dacos E on the bench.
On.
I put the E on Isaac Rankin last night after watching him warm up.
Could do that.
On rank, that was a great effort by Rank. At least score in the end, given he was
Yeah,
one
yeah.
like
That goal late was.
But no, So go
No
back
VC.
to Dacos.
Definitely no VC for Dacos.
Yeah, so
Emergency
going at the
loophole,
tag.
Ken?
Yeah, gee, that's not bad for me.
That's what I'm going to do. Yep.
That's a big call. All right, we'll keep an eye out on the tag. I think, he certainly gets clamped, so probably avoid the VC.
It's gonna be nice.
We will have the Chiefs captains later on,
Oh.
so keep an eye out on that.
Did you find Jason Dunstall and asked him who he's captain?
Next game, North
Jake Love,
Melbourne
mate,
v
Jake
Gold
Love.
Coast, Barossa, 12:05. The
Just the
ins,
Foss.
if you held the Foss, that is a good hold. Hopefully he gets a nice score for you. Zane Dersma, Zach Fisher in, Bailey Scott omitted, Matt Whitlock omitted, and Robert Hanson Jr. omitted. Gold Coast in, Nick Holman and out, Connor Butterick. So nothing huge for the SuperCoach teams apart from Foss. Yeah, move on there. Carlton v West Coast at Adelaide Oval, 12:50 p.m.
Yep.
The Mighty Weagles up
Ooh.
against the
We heading
struggling
down?
Blues.
You heading down?
That could be. I'm not able to head down actually.
Ooh.
Kicking a
Well,
couple of snags in the
Yeah,
resis.
he's named at full forward in the twos.
Wow.
There's
the
Dream
big G
big,
train.
kids. Dream
up
big.
forward.
yeah.
So Carlton's ins, big one here, Harry Mackay, Matt Cottrell and Matt Carroll, who interesting rookie to keep an eye on there, 99k defender. So keep an eye out there, fans.
Keep an eye out. I think we don't want to overhype this guy.
Mm.
Been listed before, so let's just see.
Is that the Carol? Like the Carol.
Different Carol. Someone
his name?
did get in touch with us at the Phantom SC and just said was the hipster having flashbacks when he saw the name Carroll, name for Carlton.
Origin
Long time listeners will know. Famously, Captain Jack Carroll thinking it was a loophole and he was at the ground. Didn't realise Jack Carroll was actually out there running around in front of him.
Corey Durden, the other one in. There's no relevant names on the outs apart from Cooper Lord if you backed him in as a rookie, and even Ashton Moore, I guess, if you went with him. West Coast ins, Harry Edwards down back, Jake Waterman, big in for the Mighty Weagles, and so is Liam Ryan. Jack Hutchinson probably comes into play.
Oh,
Bit of
still got him.
midfield there.
I held him.
Gee, that's
I love
massive.
him. I love him. He's my boy.
Big omissions though. Tim Kelly omitted, Noah Long omitted, and Tom Cole, Premiership hero Tom Cole.
Good news there
omitted.
for Clay Hall.
Tyler Brockman out as well. Yeah, Clay Hall stays.
Yep.
So let us talk about a couple of relevant Weagles here. Clay Hall, first of all. Negative 78 break even. He is on the bubble. And I think a couple of us here are pretty keen on him.
you and I were debating this yesterday, him or Cleary. So where do you stand now? Because I need to figure out which one to bring in out of the two.
I don't love the job security of Clay Hall, regardless of this. Like Tim Kelly, is he really going to stay in the waffle for that long? I still don't love the job security, but he's definitely the best option that we have this week. So I think if you're in need of a midfielder, if you're in need of a downgrade, he's going to make some money this week at the minimum, and then hopefully push his case to hold that spot. So I think he is a valuable trade target this week. I just don't think you should pin your hopes on him being in the team for a long time.
If he gets 2 games,
That's
does he almost make 100k? If he gets 3 games, we know he's scoring. His game is suited to SuperCoach, given the heavy contested nature of what he does out there. So 2 or 3 games, it still could be a win.
absolutely, yeah. So don't mind him. And the other one, is it too late, Beartorius, for Ryan Marrick, a man that we've been big on in the Lair? I know you're a listener. I know you listen every week.
That was a fantastic quote by you, might I add.
Which one?
Yeah, good quote.
Luke Ryan Marrick.
Yeah, Luke Ryan Marrick. Just 5 names and I just strolling down Adelaide Oval
Said he was alive.
Thursday night, pumping. We didn't see any other big names. All amongst the fans.
What time was this?
About 5:30 local time.
That's 6 p.m. for the Victorian listeners out
Local
there.
time. Just walking down past Zambreros, line up out the door for a burrito on the way to the footy. Walk past this bloke, bleach blonde hair. Had to turn around, think that was Ryan Marrick, and it was Ryan Marrick. And he looked at us too. I reckon he
No.
lining up
No.
for a burrito. Ryan Marrick on Thursday night in Adelaide.
Fanboyed. He actually was about to stop for
Well, hang on. This time last year, one of our very own did get a selfie with Tom Powell.
Yeah, I did. Need to head down to
That went bunter as well. That was
need to head down to that area today. And
So
get a
no
couple-
selfie?
couple
No,
of snaps.
no
Will be
pic?
gone.
No
No, I
pic?
thought we'd leave him because we want to get him on the show.
Oh.
So we just thought to let him enjoy his burrito.
Hopefully
Get
didn't get
himself right for Saturday afternoon.
Is it too late? He's got a negative
Well,
19 break even, the
if
great
he-
man.
if he didn't have the
but he is
spicy-
320k.
If he didn't have the spicy cauliflower, he's an absolute, he's an absolute option.
It's
No.
not too late, is it?
No, get him in.
Rolls there.
Negative
Breaker's
19.
there. Price is still there.
It's pricey. It's
Are
pricey.
you doing it?
200k
Chief?
down. I don't think I'm doing it now.
The chief.
I don't know my trades this week still. It's going to go right at the end of the deadline for
It's the Beartorius way.
Darcy.
We'll talk about our trades at
yeah.
the end.
We'll move on. We need to get going through these games. Western Bulldogs versus Brisbane Lions, Norwood Oval, 3:45 p.m. We do have a debutant for the Dogs, Cooper Hines. I know that you did a lot of work on the Rookie Bible fans, but shaking his head. So, so we are live.
Only relevant
Everyone
names
can
here.
see you shaking your head. So he has no idea on those stats, but I think they're pretty good.
I can always
Cooper
find
Hines. So was a mid.
Go in the fan database and find some.
Oh,
Luke Cleary
research.
in and Jason Johannesen, Oscar Baker. No one else fantasy super coach relevant. Brisbane Lions, no changes. So I think we can move on there unless you're looking at any
131
VCC
SuperCoach
options.
points in the Coates League last year for Cooper Hines. 2 games in the VFL. 131. last week.
We have seen some big scores at Norwood Oval, so possibly some nice VC or C options out of there if you want to go with.
Daughter.
That was off the top of your head as well, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's good. Get up early, do the research.
Melbourne Essendon, Adelaide Oval, 7:05 p.m. I might be on the hill for that one.
Ooh.
Beartorius. You're watching your mob get absolutely
Wearing
smoked by the
Supercoach
Dons.
shirt.
I won't be there.
We'll see how it goes.
Hey, how you
Melbourne,
gonna be watching the game?
massive in though here.
Huge.
Anyone who held Xavier Lindsay back in the squad, 29 break even, still 193K.
Yep. But what about the big news from this game? The Chief was champion, was telling everyone the
Oh,
rookie
yeah.
move, the rookie move of the week. Oh, I've got this. This is the one. I'm making this move straight back in. No Jai Caldwell, Elijah Sardis.
Yeah, I
Playing
was
VFL.
surprised. Very surprising not to see Elijah Sardis back in the team.
At least you got your feet of comedy.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be straight back in, but Will Setterfield, maybe they just need him to get a run under the legs after having the finger injury. But disappointing not to see Sardis back out there. He was going to be straight back in for old Dusty. Instead, it was Archie Perkins and Will Setterfield coming in for Caldwell and Tom Edwards, unfortunately doing the ACL. Sunday games, Richmond v Fremantle at Barossa Park, 12:05 p.m. This one could be a SuperCoach fest for some players.
Oh, let's do
Didn't-
be.
Big news, though.
big-
Where's big Sammy Lawler?
Amy Lawler.
Doesn't like Adelaide.
Oh,
Doesn't like Adelaide, unfortunately. I didn't.
is he here?
Should we call him? No.
Yeah, so Sammy Lawler out after a huge score last week.
Gee, I loved having him in my team for that huge score last week, though. That was good. That was good.
That was the
Yeah.
right call to hold. wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't now. So anyway, so
That's
Sammy
always
Lawler
one step
out,
ahead.
unfortunately, and Harry Armstrong also out. Jonty Fall debut.
Ooh,
Rebels boy.
Okay, tell us about him.
Key forward.
All right. Say no more.
Yep. Key forward. Moves around the ground. He'll maybe ruck a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, probably not ready yet. He's
Okay.
doing well in VFL, though. Getting some bags.
Very
it's
nice.
Josh Smiley. We need Josh Smiley.
Yeah, still not in the extended squad for the Sunday game, but in for Fremantle, some massive ins here. Haydn Young coming back into the squad. Sean Darcy back into the squad. Sam Switkowski back in as well. Not SuperCoach relevant, but could take some roles away from a small forward that's been doing pretty well recently.
What a 25 as well, of course. Won't get the final 23 until Friday
What about
night.
the big inclusion there? Liam.
Reedy.
Ready.
Yes. Yep. So just a watch on those teams for Sunday. The unfortunate news, though, for all super coaches having to trade these players out is Nathan O'Driscoll injured 4 to 6 weeks. He's a clear trade, right?
Yep. What's
Yep.
everyone doing with him?
Cinders Moses.
Trading.
Yeah, trading.
I'm turning him into. I have turned him into Caleb Sarong. Straight C
straight
out
up,
there
not
as
bad.
well on Sunday. 5 names.
Straight C. On a player you're trading in.
Wow. All right. I'm
TDK VC first.
Okay.
I'm using the cash from him to get a primo defender. As I
Which
said,
one?
upgrade season's open. At the moment, I think it's Jordan Clark.
Ooh, yep.
Change him,
That's
change
the
him.
type,
Team.
yep.
But yeah, it's Lockie Whitfield's also very high up in my thinking, as well as Naz.
Like it. At
Very
Beartorius.
nice.
I am waiting to see what I get from the takeaways from this podcast, and then
Ooh.
I will be making my trades.
And the Chief, your trade plans and all sorts, or what are you doing with Nod?
Also, it's no idea. I think I'm considering now, even though I said no on the Lair on whenever we recorded that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it was. The week's a blur.
Been a big week.
It's been a big week.
Third Lair
already.
for the week.
Probably Clay Hall now for me. So going
Ooh.
down and then trying to find a way to
Clay
get up elsewhere around the ground. But I've also got Luke Jackson, who's also out for the
Ooh.
team in Fremantle. And I'm
And also,
toying with holding.
Bet. Bet.
Toying with
One
Do you
holding.
have-
week string? Is it
Do you have
one
a
week?
bottom of the
2
pod
to 3.
suggestion for Dossie?
No, because I'm probably
gonna have-
bottom. Off for
Yeah,
next week. For
in
next
fact,
week.
He's come on the
No,
show.
it's bottom. It's
Can
Monday.
we-
It's
That's a Monday.
Monday.
That's
though.
That's a Monday.
Yeah, that's the one.
Dossie, 'cause you're-
Have you found the
You're
chief?
shaping up for bottom of the pod again. We haven't done this week, so you got to double up.
Yeah, you got to find the chief.
Well, I'm definitely going to be bottom of the pod after my trades aren't looking
3
too
in a row.
flash. Anywho, the final 2 games of the round, St Kilda v GWS at Norwood Oval. As we said, high scores have been at Norwood Oval in the past. So St Kilda and GWS, a couple of SuperCoach relevant names in there as well. Jack Steele potentially back into the side in the extended squad. Liam Henry and Hugh Boxall, a nice rookie option that we were looking at in the preseason. Does he finally get his debut? And GWS, in comes Cogs, James Leake into the extended squad, Harvey Thomas and Toby McMullen, and out Brent Daniels. One to watch there is Connor Stone on our benches. If he's dropped, I think he's also a guy that we can trade out of our teams. Hasn't scored great, and if he's out for one of these guys, then yeah, I'd happily get rid of him. Port Adelaide v Hawthorn, the final match of the round at Adelaide Oval, 6:50 p.m. Adelaide time.
Fair, and I'll be there.
Tom Cochrane into the extended squad, Soldo, Boak, and Lorenz out, DBJ. So nothing SuperCoach relevant there. James Warple in for Will Day out. So Will Day out for, was it 3 to 4 months? 4 months.
4 months, yep.
Clear trade, unfortunately. What are our options there, though? And Beartorius, Mr. 56K rank. Where do we go with Will Day?
Don't follow me.
He's 483K. We can use that money, nicely to go up or down. Are you going, dependent on structure, obviously, what's your plans if you had a Will Day? And do you have a Will Day?
Don't have a Will Day. Don't have a Will Day. You're going to have to fire off some player names around that mark for me, though.
For 20K, you can get Will Ashcroft.
Ooh, I think I'm a Will Ashcroft owner, so jump on board.
Or we did mention it in this week's buy, hold, sell to swing down to Sam Darcy as well for 20K.
I do like Will Ashcroft just as grilled by, I think, Matthew Lloyd on a rival show. The cheapies. Because he's been doing that his whole junior career as well. Is the little 1-2s.
Yep.
Remember watching him national championships back in 2022 or whenever that was. Arms out wide, serious pig, give the handball, want it back straight away, out on a wing. Same position, really.
Yep.
I love Will Ashcroft for that reason.
But he's not the true pig, aka Ryan Marriage, just stepping out of the square.
That is such a hold.
That is.
I like Will Ashcroft.
I've gone up from Nod to Caleb Throng, also Andrew Brayshaw. They're given Frio's run. We can't be sure about a lot of the others premium midfielders, but I think the Docker duo definitely worth some thought if you do go up from Will Day.
And if you've got coverage like a Xavier Lindsay to come on the field, you could just wait an extra week and pounce on a Nick Dacos after the tag.
Oh, he's going to
be so cheap.
He's going to be nice and cheap.
Might be worth it.
I think Tom Green's
goal square tonight.
I think Tom Green's
Old Nicky D.
looking pretty good. I reckon he's a nice little option. You can get up to him from Will Day as well.
I like that Nicky Dakes tip, mate. I might have to look at that next week. This is why I come on the Lair.
Well, you come back, mate. You need this advice, and that's why you're an avid listener every week, Monday and
I never
Wednesdays.
miss a pod.
And Thursday.
Never miss a pod.
You can see the questions coming.
I can. The
through,
questions are coming
Darcy.
in thick and fast. So before we do get to our question segment, we will go through the best bets, fans.
We will welcome to this week's best bet segment powered by Better. Now, having a look tonight's game, Collingwood and Sydney need a bit of interest. Nicky D might be stopped by James Jordan, but the story of last week, the SuperCoach story and the footy story in general, Riley Bice absolutely dominated last week under the roof.
Do you have Bice?
No, I don't. That's a man I will be getting in, regardless of what
Must have
this podcast.
My bet of the week, Riley Bice, for most disposals in Group B on Better the Market. He only has to beat Nick Blakey, Pat Lipinski, Jack Crisp, James Jordan, James Raybottom, Darcy Cameron, and Ned Long. 480. Good buy in there. Have a look at that if you are having a bit of a flight. Another one to put in your mold. This might hurt SuperCoaches. Harry Perryman moved back into the midfield last week, had 20 touches. If he's allowed to go and win the footy again, which we saw happen last week, $2.30 to have 20 or more disposals. So get that one into your multi. But of course, what is gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website 1-800-858-858.
All right, it's time for our question segment. So if you're watching live on Code Sports YouTube, or we're also live on X and Facebook as well. So make sure you get your questions in, and we'll get to as many as we can.
Feedback
right
for
now.
the Bear. You know, what do you think of the Bear's return? You happy that he's come back?
Just one time. I know. People get sick of me, so
And also, if you do see the Phantom and Dossie down at the footy festival or around town, say hello to them.
Yep, for sure.
Especially the chief. I call him the chief, please.
I've got it on good
Yep.
mail that Dossie's carrying around a Sharpie as well.
We'll rate your
all
team.
weekend
Yeah.
for those autograph
We'll rate your
opportunities.
team.
Yeah, rate your team. You know,
Do we have
yeah.
any merch, Dossie?
We should, we do have
Ooh.
some merch. I haven't seen what we've got, but we do have a big box of merch. So we're doing something with that.
It
so
could be
keep
something.
an eye
Live
out
open.
at Gather Round if you are here. Yeah, what was I going to say, fans? I've
Questions?
lost it. Oh, no, I was going to say I did it. Speaking of signing autographs and taking photos, did see our man Check is out and about from Marmalade the other day and had to step out the way, actually, multiple times for him to get those photos and even took a photo. So it's definitely not Celebrity Dossie out on the fields. There's plenty of people to go check out.
The weekend's still young.
Here's from Robbo. Hey, boys, should I vice Bice if my only loophole is Campo? So he's only got the one player to use a vice captain loophole. Does he go with
And
Rolly Bice?
Eagles obviously second game
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Saturday.
I love this. This is. I'd love that for some reason.
You got to then.
Yep.
You got to.
I think so.
VC and load up on the most disposals in Group B.
A couple of nice comments coming through as well. Love your content. Look forward to it all.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Hero of the week from Shane. He's already got his hero in.
Oh,
Chris Scott for starting Max Holmes at half back.
yep.
Have to agree there.
Huge.
Does that outweigh the Tom Stewart laid out? Dossie?
No,
Or
it
moving
doesn't.
SDK at the ruck.
Absolutely doesn't. This from Free Kick Land. One for Dossie.
Oh,
Dos, how are you recovering from the devastating dropping of Tom Cole, one of my favourites, Premiership hero?
Jeez, this is a
Tommy
friend.
Cole, perennial SuperCoach, superstar as well, of course. Tom
He
Cole.
was a good rook.
Oh dear.
Not too bad. No, I'm still recovering.
Tom Cole cost me a top
Devastating.
100 finish one year.
Devastating times. This one for Bear
Oh, no.
from Vincenzo. Can the Blues get their first win? So impartial. Can the Blues get the W over the Weags? Or is the
Surely.
mighty Weags going to come up trumps?
Yes, they can, but Saturday football, I don't really.
What
Not
have you
really-
been
not
doing?
really across
Where have you gone, Bear? You just left us. You just left.
7 AFL.
Walked out
7
on us.
AFL. Social media producer.
Yeah.
So Saturday is a day off for me. Good to be back in the home state. Yeah, Blues. Blues win.
All right.
Can watch it live. Can watch it live. It's
So you-
exclusively on Carrot.
Now, wait, we got to might be in the pan next week again, Bear, because
Here we go.
you know Jack Higgins just saying he doesn't like Adelaide. Who
Oh, gee.
responsible buddy
Didn't I go fishing? Didn't I?
pushing.
Great.
Jeez, could have buried that one, but no.
Owning the
just
media cycle. Oh, that was fantastic.
disappointing. You'll be in the pan next.
600,000 views on Instagram. Thank you very much. million views on Facebook. Thank you very
Keep
much.
getting your questions in. Mitch is asking, hang on, where's Erad and the hipster? It's been good.
Oh, big show, big OG show on
Oh,
Tuesday.
jeez.
Get back and listen to it now if you haven't
There's more.
already. What else you got?
Oh, it just says, has been good to see Timu Hipster finish bottom of the pod the last 2 weeks. So we have confirmation that I'm Timu Hipster. We thought it was Sim. We thought it was 5 then. So that's just a kick in the guts. Dusty's having a tough week. And old Mitch has hit hard. MJ, that's from the coaches panel saying, killing it, lads. Great work.
Friend of the show, MJ, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Mitch saying the Chief sounds grumpy today. You're not wrong. Bit grumpy.
Grump,
Gather around. Oh, I should be showing these on the screen.
Grumpy.
Sorry.
Grumpy's understatement, I reckon.
This from Taj.
Look at him; he's not even laughing.
How do I handle my emotions after trading Max Holmes this week?
Oh,
That is tough.
can't help you there.
Very tough. Ricky Edwards Callahan, is he a trade out?
I'm gonna say yes.
Long
Reckon
term, yes, but I just think we want to improve the bottom end of our teams at the moment.
I'm going to say no. I feel
I-
like as
I
much
agree
as
now. at the
he's
moment.
not a goal kicker like Chad, but the comparison I would have is if you own Chad Warner last year, where he goes these 140s and then he drops a stinker. You just got to wait till he gets those a couple of 140s in a row to have the Sim just cannot stop laughing. You got to wait for that, I reckon. So I'd be holding, even though the break even's not great, and fix your team elsewhere. The bias is right from G Money, correct? Okay,
And of course, Riley Bice, if you didn't jump on, you haven't heard all week. Get on this week, not too late for him. 202k, negative 98 break even.
question from Mitch: Harvey Langford or Toby Travalia?
Langford.
Yeah, I think Langford.
Harvey Langford. Yeah, even though
Travalia.
you refuse to watch the D's, you've seen enough to know that Langford is the man.
Yeah. Oh, well, Travali was also sub risk, wasn't he? But Langford
so.
looks to have cemented his spot now, right?
Especially
He had 27 and a goal the other week. Oh.
Should go okay against the Dons. You can watch him up on the hill too if you do bring him in. So
So you're actually not going on Saturday night.
People say, mate. Yeah,
I wonder there was only 4,000 people at the MCG the other week.
I think I've been to one Melbourne game this year.
all right. So
Did
he
you
has
work
no
it?
Maybe.
insights
Was that
on
Langford?
Langford.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
might
was
be best.
working it.
Might be best to bring in Travalia in that case. This guy's not seen a minute of D's football.
I've seen a lot of Travalia though. I like Travalia. I don't think you can go wrong.
Order of preference to bring in Neil Brayshaw, Rowell, or Will Ashcroft. All right, Fancy, you take this one.
Neil Brayshaw.
Rowell or Will Ashcroft. You're going Washcroft, aren't you? You're a fanboy for Will.
I'm going Caleb Strong.
Whoa. Okay.
I think this week I like Brayshaw, Ashcroft, Neil, Rao.
You don't Ashcroft over Neil.
Rowell last. Hurts as well.
Price.
Price.
400K.
In my squad. Okay, the next question's Clay Hall or Cleary. So we said Cleary's not on the bubble, so you don't he won't change price this week. You've got to hope that he also gets named next week to get that cash. So
One
you're
word
going
answers.
Clay Hall.
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 word.
Cleary.
Ooh, he's always going to back in Cleary,
Yep.
the man from
I'll
7.
be calling him now.
Yep.
I'm getting a question in.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll leave a comment.
We've just got a bit of a brag from Riley.
yeah, we like brags. Doesn't
I'm
have to be a
projected
question.
23.74 after putting the VC on Holmes, and I'm in
Ooh.
the running for the grand. So of course
Well
you win $1,000 if you win the weekly prize, double to 2,000 if you have SuperCoach Plus during the round. So it might be time to invest.
And you
Might be time to invest there, Riley. If you think you're in a chance there, I think you've got to have it during the round. So
Shout out Barbara McGill.
not after the round. Which Daredevil is going to bring in Bont next week from Beartorius?
Yep. Oh, good question.
Ooh.
Good question. Thanks for listening at home there, Beartorius. Which one of you guys? One of you three, put your hand up.
It's not bad next
you
week.
have to have a look, don't you?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is some inside word. The mail.
I
681K.
No way.
I'll do it. I'll put my hand up and do it.
No
Where you get
way.
the money from?
Yeah,
Pay rise? From your pay rise?
I don't want to talk about it. That was a little bit of a bump up, actually. So,
There's no
playing
way.
the,
I'd
playing
do
the
it.
Saints.
Nah,
Oh.
you hunt for value. That's
yeah, but I'm,
these are
I'm
Richmond.
Oh.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Saints, Giants, Port,
Oh.
Gold Coast.
Sorry, that's
Oh,
what you
damn.
think.
No.
All right. Sorry, everyone.
I'm hunting for content here, Dossie. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your team for content.
Okay. Yeah, no, not for me, mate. I think I'll wait for the price to just dip a little bit.
It's coming out with a
Yep,
150.
me too.
This one from Ben. What do I do with Sid Draper? Guys. Sim.
Experts.
What's your price? What's
Scored last night. I thought he was pretty good. He only scored 41 and then 7 touches from him. Obviously, at least he's getting a go now. He's actually still down $500 from his starting price, 189K, break even of 9. So he would have gone up a bit. We're seeing just under 200K. Talking about very slow burn here, given what's happened early in his career, the sub, and now another low score. Look to potentially trade next week. Could you do a DPP trade if Sandy Brock goes well again, 99K? See what happens on the rookie front, but it's probably a trade because you're not getting much out of him. We need all the cash gen. This is an important time for cash gen.
Called him a slow burn. You good with nicknames. You didn't want to call him Sid the Sloth. Too harsh.
Jeez.
Crows fan. Didn't want to go for one of your own boys.
No, he's all right. He's going to be all right.
He's an accumulator. He's just not getting it just yet.
Only 7 touches.
too many mouths to feed in the midfield?
I'll be trading.
Yeah, like your
Right,
man
next week.
Saligo.
All right, next
That's
one.
it.
No, we said in the midfield,
Yeah.
not on the outer.
Yeah, not on the outer.
Next one
not on the
from
hill.
Rayner.
Cam?
Worth using a third boost to go from Callahan to Sinclair or Whitfield.
No. That's a definite upgrade. We know that.
To go from who to who, sorry?
It was to go from Callahan to Jack Sinclair or Lockie Whitfield.
But I just think you need
I'm a
to,
no. Yeah.
you need to be improving that bottom end. If you're doing an
You're right,
upgrade,
you're right.
going up from a nod or something like that.
Bottom end
And
phantom
it's
over here.
just, I don't know, maybe Dossie's taking the bottom of the pod weekly at the moment, but my chase for value is going to rise me back up. So if you're
God.
paying 600 and
Me too.
whatever K,
Me too. That's my strat.
you're paying 680 for Bond, so you're not coming back.
That's for
anywhere, mate.
content, though. That's a loophole.
Anyway,
You get
I
it
think
back.
you look for value at this time of the year and going Callahan, who's gone down in price to these guys who are going up is not the way to do that. Merritt for the next couple of weeks. Just the last few questions here. Dossie's captains, and then we're done here. Lockie, Merritt, next couple of weeks. Do we want him in?
Like it. Yep.
Yeah.
If you can get to him. He's not a name we've talked about as much as, your Sarongs, your Neils, these kind of targets, but Merritt, he's got a pretty good run.
Yeah, break even at 114 too. So probably going to hold, not going to fluctuate too much in price. 8% of teams.
He's going to go
A
ham
nice
Saturday
pod.
night as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
When I usually watch State League footy.
Eagles after that too. Eagles after that.
Yeah, good run.
Collingwood, who we know give up points to midfielders, then North.
Well, this is the run that I wanted for Elijah Sardis. So, yeah, probably safer with Zach Merritt. How about this one from Tariq? Rosie to Zeret this week, or wait a week and go Dacos if Rosie is no good? So I like the second option
Wait,
there.
yep.
Wait a week. And the final one here, since Bevo said Bont will be back, do I trade Oliver for someone for him next week? So
Is that Beartorius again?
Is that Beartorius?
No, that wasn't.
Are you trading
No.
Oliver though?
Trading Clary.
You're not
No.
trading Clary to get
No.
Bont, are you?
no.
No. No.
It's good to know.
Who's still got Fraser in the chat, actually?
Oh yeah, we need to mention this. Actually.
Can we call
Well,
you?
you didn't listen to Lair this week because Sim had a go at
Cool
you.
job.
Sim did have a go at you for the Fraser.
He's
call.
going for me this week. He's done. He
Yeah.
got Bevo.
This was my one. Yeah, that was my one fear with Fraser is that Bevo loves him because he can be a Mr. Fix-It.
Mm.
He can put him anywhere.
It was so good for a little while. We were onto something, and then
I won't forget round 1 and 2. 2025.
Yep. A final comment. People trading Oliver and Holmes. What is going on? I agree. You don't want to be trading these guys. You want to be upgrading your team around. So it is time for everyone's
here we
favorite
go.
new
Come on.
segment. Now that the crew in Melbourne are off for this week, so it's time for the Chiefs captains.
Need a sting. Bum, bum, bum.
The Chiefs
phone.
captains
Enough alert.
Go on Instagram
for
Reels.
the week.
Enough alert.
Not a stack of research, just a few matchup based things. And I think, the reason I don't need a stack of research this week is because there is one clear, obvious captain at number 1, and that is Tom DeConing.
Yeah.
Versus West Coast. They didn't even bother bringing Matt Flynn back in the side. He's up against Bailey Williams and Archer Reed or whatever they're going to do there again.
Ruben Jimmy.
TDK is going to feast. It's going to be a monster score. I don't think we'll have to go past that for your VC or C. So happily go, maybe even a Riley bias into your TDK. I'm going to go the VC on TDK so that I can hopefully get the massive score and take that one. Number 2, got a little bit of a pod here at number 2. Toby Nankervis up against Fremantle, up against an underdone. So, my 2 rucks from last year. Toby Nankervis up against Fremantle. Sean Darcy back in the side. No Luke Jackson. Maybe a Liam Reedy, who knows. I think it's going to be a pretty easy matchup for Nank there. So, if you randomly have him as a pod. I've got a couple of pods. It's Dossie's show here. Chiefs captain.
Speaking of one time only.
a trade target for me this week. Getting him for, I think it's like 70K under his starting price. 134 last week. Luke Ryan versus Richmond.
Terrible call.
A guy that got 197 on Richmond last year. They have a really good run.
Yep.
Really good run. Or Jordan Clark. Yes. I think both of them are great trade targets this week if you're lacking a defender.
However,
if you want to jump off
Ryan
as Jaden Short, I think these two are great trades.
Luke Ryan is not going to chip the ball around
We'll see.
as much as it is.
Zorko last week against Richmond broke my heart.
We'll see. It's Dossie's number 3 captain, another pod.
I hate
I'll go a bit more of a
10 to go.
mainstream option here. Harry Sheasel versus Gold Coast. Just the form that he plays if he does play half back. So we'll see if he's in that role again. If he is, if he's not, he'll be shifted right out of this. But at number 4, I think he could have a ceiling score just because whenever he plays there, he dominates. And Andy Brayshaw, and pick your Fremantle midfielder if you have Sarong. Andrew Brayshaw versus Richmond, just because I have him. So he's above Sarong for me in the captains. I think they will dominate. So some other tips, anyone against Richmond or West Coast this week, I think will do fine. Like if you've got a Chair or a Cripps, should be a nice little VC. If you don't have Tom DeConing, obviously Sarong.
What about Sam Walsh?
In drafts,
Sam Walsh.
Charlie Kerno and Harry McKay might kick 10 apiece.
Sam Walsh might go off.
Could do, yes. That's another good one. Lockie Whitfield versus the Saints could go big. I just wary of maybe getting some attention. Old Roscoe putting something his way. He is the informed player at the moment, almost the competition, Lockie Whitfield. And then the other way, Jack Sinclair on the other team could also go ham, but I would think it's between Jack McRae and Sinclair, who Toby Bedford goes to, right? And I would say it's Sinclair.
It has to be Sinclair.
It has to be Sinclair. So I think that's why I wouldn't say he's a trade target this week. He could absolutely get clamped.
And you trade Naz, you would tag Naz before you tag Jack McRae as well, sure.
Yeah. But I do think Jack Sinclair's probably a nicer matchup, right sort of body type for Bedford to tag. So there we go. But I genuinely think TDK will lock us in a beautiful captain. So just go with TDK this week. Trade plans, anyone? Before we log off?
Dossie.
Rob, strong for me.
Get TDK.
Not just wrong.
No Pitnet. That was probably big news we didn't mention on the team sheets. He's available.
He's back healthy and he's not in.
And he's not in. So that's great news for TDK owners at the moment. So our trade plans. So we're just
I'm going to try and bring in, Jordan Clark or Witt. But I'm probably going to go Jordan Clark, and because I think he's going to be better than Luke Ryan. Dossie, I don't like that Luke Ryan tool.
SDK down to Sandy Brock. I need the cash. Then nod to Caleb Throng. Because then I've got, if I kept SDK, then I've got Jackson Pryor and Zach Reed on the bench in defence. So we've got some good on-field options there now. So Sandy Brock then goes to D8. Jackson Pryor comes onto the field. So you've got Zach Reed on the bench. So bumping up the midfield, Caleb Throng, and utilising all those rookies in defence.
Beartorius, after having a chat with us now.
Can't remember. I have to listen back to it. There was someone I mentioned 10 minutes ago.
You're just saving all your money for Bont next week.
Well, maybe I'll get Bont in this week, get him familiarised with his teammates, just, so he's ready to go next week. Maybe I'll do that.
Bringing in Cleary as well, just for the brand, surely.
Got to get Cleary. There's a name. There was a name I mentioned 15 minutes ago. I've forgotten it. So
have I. I just sort of don't listen to old Beartorius these days.
Don't listen to me.
And my trades, they're just changing. They're fluid. My trades are fluid, but
Must be noted.
Could be anything.
Dossie gets more trades than the rest of us because he is the face of SuperCoach. So.
It's true. I will be. In saying that, I'll probably be using another boost this week. So hopefully they can flick a few more my way. But this will be my third boost.
But out of unlimited though, so it's okay.
Well, keep it on the down low. I've got Luke Jackson out at the moment. I know I said I'm toying with holding, but at the moment, Luke Jackson out, Jaden Short out, and Nathan O'Driscoll out for Luke Ryan, Max Gawn, and Clay Hall. Those are three. And if I decide to get rid of a rookie instead of a Jaden Short, like if, say, I don't know, Connor Stone, if I decide I want to get rid of him, I think I will be still happy to jump on a Luke Ryan Marek.
Dossie getting rid of a rookie. Get ready for him to get 100 and then get injured the next week.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Connor Stone to have the best game he's ever had in his career.
I reckon that's it.
That's it.
Oh, why is no one talking about Sam Darcy to finish from Anthony?
Well, we did mention
we did.
a Will Day replacement, DPP trade, 20K.
We did mention.
Yep.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up, fans.
Yep. Big show. Big week.
Port to win.
Good to have Bear back. Keep an eye out if you're in Adelaide for at Beartorius on the streets over the next few days. And of course,
If he's
at the footy festival, if you are there, Chief and I might make an appearance again. But again, enjoy the footy. Good luck in SuperCoach. Back for a Monday Lair, maybe 3 Lairs again next week. Or we'll start with the Monday one, but we'll see you then.
See you there.